Hello everybody, Galen Gilmore here. Now if you watched my last video, you'll know that I've been hunting asteroids, comets, and other like minor planetary bodies using only my own skills and my own telescope, and also knowledge from other people on like the internet and whatnot, as kind of a personal quarantine project, if that makes sense. So this is episode 2. It's been about a week since I last went out and did this. It's going to be a clear night. I don't know if you can see out the window. I decided to go outside and record it outside because it's a little bit chilly out there. But pretty soon here I'll be setting up the telescope and I'll be starting my uh, shooting my I can't even think of the word. I'm doing this in one take because I don't want to have to take forever to do this. But I'll be starting pretty soon here. Basically, is what I'm saying. The moon's looking a little bit better for tonight than last time because last time when I did it, the moon was basically right where I wanted to shoot. But so I had to kind of skip over it a little bit. But this time the moon is going to be rising a little bit later, and so should be completely out of the way for the most part. So I can't wait to see how we get on with this and what I'll be able to find and whatnot. So guess I'll see you when I finish setting up my telescope and whatnot. Alright guys, so you can see that I've got everything set up. Got the telescope set up. Sky's looking perfectly clear. There's Venus up there, and it's looking very good. I've got it all polar lined and leveled and stuff. And now I'm probably just gonna go in and eat dinner, wait for it to get dark, and then I'll come back out and I'll check with another update. See, here's my cat going around here. He's hanging out with me as well. So yeah, the astronomy cat Galen, the astronomy kid, and Orangey, the astronomy cat. So I'll get back to you when I'm ready to go. Alright guys, since you didn't get to really see last time, I just want to show off my camera since last time it was already plugged in. Don't mind my parents, they're watching some movie up there, but see this is the Canon T3i. Sorry if it's a little bit dark, I don't really have much lighting out here, but you can see here that it doesn't come with a lens. This is the part that actually connects with the eyepiece on the telescope here. And there it is, Canon EOS Rebel T3i. Go around here, flip out screen, pretty nice when you need to be able to look in some uncomfortable positions. It flips around and does cool stuff, and it's cool. But mainly what I wanted to show you here was this. So on the front here you can actually see my light pollution filter. So this screws off of the thing like that, and you can see there it actually blocks out a lot of yellow light, so that's why all that from the light behind is getting reflected back over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this back on here and try not to drop it. But what I'm screwing it onto is actually the coma corrector, which also happens to act as a 0.9 times focal reducer, which actually increases the field of view. But the coma corrector basically just fixes all this problem in reflector telescopes like mine over there, which actually the problem that it has is ones that have short focal lengths like mine actually produce little like comet-shaped stars in the corner of the images. So this actually fixes that by bending the light so that they become more rounded at the edges. So it's a very important piece to this little thing. So we're just going to come over here and we're going to put it in the telescope. Hey guys, you probably can't see this, but turn off the flashlight here and look straight up. You can see absolutely nothing, and that's because there's no moon. Would you look at that? Actually, the moon will technically be rising in that direction in about an hour. So, but other than that, I mean, look how dark the sky is. And from my perspective, you can't obviously see it in the phone because the phone does not detect a lot of light, but there's actually quite a lot of stars out tonight, which is quite good for my skies, which are Boreal 8. So I'm just going to be starting shooting in just a second here. So guys, as you can see here by the little red light and the little green light down there, and the LCD screen here, I've started shooting, and you can also hear by the beeping. But as you can see, it's actually almost done with one exposure. I've decided to shoot almost exactly where I left off, although I realized it actually strayed a little bit from my original path that I wanted to take, so I've kind of corrected that and I'm back onto the ecliptic. And as you can see, the first picture is now done, and you can see not that much. We'll look back on that picture there. We'll just see what's there. Probably can't see much on this picture, but I'll go back later and you'll be able to see. There's some stars. But yeah, I'm sure there's stuff in there. We're just waiting to be found out. And I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to see how long this battery lasts again. Hey guys, so as you can see over there, this moon is starting to rise over there in the southeast skies. And it's just now getting bright, but I mean, so far everything's been pretty successful. I want you to look at this. So I switched over to this part of the sky, and I just selected Duba, the star Duba and the Big Dipper, and look at this. Look how cool this let it focus. Look how cool this star shape is right now. This star shape with all those spikes coming off of it. And I thought this is actually probably one of the best pictures of a star I've ever taken. So I don't know why, I just thought that was pretty cool. And it's actually visible on the screen, but as you can see by that blinking light, I think I might be possibly nearing the end of the life of the battery on the mounts. So I think I'll probably have to call it quits here soon, but I'll try and get a couple more pictures in before that happens.
Okay guys, so you're not going to believe this. We are literally not going to believe this, and I didn't either. But I actually found something. I actually found one. And it's literally on my second night out. I did one video last week, and this is my second night out, and I found another one, and I've already found one. So, as you know, I blink these images on and off to see what changes between the images. Now, I'll let you decide here. Notice anything that changes? Anything that disappears when I fade my image out? Yeah, this thing right here. This little bright white dot here that I fade out and it disappears because it's an asteroid, because it's moving. And I figured it out. I went over here to this website here, which is heavensabove.com, which shows the list of bright asteroids at the moment. This table shows the brightest currently observable asteroids. I knew that this was in Virgo, right? This is in the constellation of Virgo, so I started there. At first I saw this one, which is in Virgo, 40 Harmonia. I clicked on this one, but as you can see, that's on the other side of Virgo, not where I saw it. And so I backed out again. I went down the list again, and as you can see, here's another asteroid in Virgo right there, 3 Juno. I clicked on that one, and what do you know? It's exactly where I observed it. As you can see in the position, right ascension 12 hours 37.1 minutes, and declination 5 degrees 29 minutes. Now if we put the crosshairs right over here, you can see right down here, right ascension 12 hours and 37 minutes, and declination of 5 degrees and 26 minutes. So that's literally it. That is literally Juno. And we'll look up some facts about Juno. Asteroid Juno. I did look some up before off camera, but here it is. 3 Juno is a large asteroid in the asteroid belt. Juno was the third asteroid discovered in 1804 by German astronomer Carl Harding. It is the 11th largest asteroid and one of the 2 largest stony S-type asteroids, along with 15 Eumonia. It is estimated to contain 1% of the total mass of the asteroid belt, so it is a very large asteroid. That's for sure. Saw some things. It orbits pretty far out in a pretty eccentric orbit. You can see here that it's got an eccentricity of 0.25, which is pretty eccentric. As you can see, it actually goes all the way down to 2 astronomical units, or 2 times as far away, 2 times the distance of the Earth from the Sun. And at its furthest, it's almost 3.5 times. It's almost 3.5 times the distance from the Earth to the Sun. So, and it takes about 4.5 years to go around this, go around the Sun once. But I mean, just look at it. Look at that. It's amazing. And you know what? I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but I'm really surprised that I was able to get it. That I was able to find it as soon as I did. I was just going along the ecliptic. I was just going along the ecliptic here. I guess I was technically kind of going above it a little bit, but whatever, close enough. And it's just there. It's literally just there. It's just hanging out. It's just chilling right there in the image, along with little galaxy there too. And I literally cannot believe it. I literally cannot believe it. I'm honestly kind of speechless, and this is probably getting boring listening to me go on about how cool this is that I just stumbled across this asteroid without even knowing it was there. But I'm just lost for words right now. So I guess what my next step would be probably is to track it. Right? I mean, obviously people already know that it exists and where it is, but it's a big deal for me. So what I'm gonna probably try and do is to go back to this area of the sky and take a bunch of pictures and see which direction it is heading. I'm not sure if I can do this, but I mean, I might be able to even calculate its orbit. I don't know how to do that yet. I have to read into like the math and stuff behind that. But if I can track this and I can calculate its orbit, then that would be actually kind of insane. I could even create some kind of like a cool like artsy kind of photo where I take a bunch of asteroids over like multiple nights and see how it moves across the sky, because it'll appear as like little dots on the screen that kind of go like, it'll go like doot, 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 right? So I don't know, guys. I honestly don't know. There's uh, there's other stuff I got in some later images which I'll show off, you know, a little bit later here. But this is the main thing here. This is it. This is what I came here to do, and and it's there. It's literally right there. It's there. That's it. That is it. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I'll move on here. Hey guys, just found my first globular cluster here. I looked it up. It's actually quite an obscure and small globular cluster, so you can see it here. Kind of thought it was a galaxy at first, but you can see you fade the image out, and there it is, just a tiny little globular cluster just sitting out there. So it's something that doesn't even show up on the star chart on my phone. So that's a neat little thing. I didn't know it existed. So obviously nothing compared to the asteroid I found, but still pretty cool. This isn't exactly the main attraction of like the galaxies, which is actually going to be over here when our images kind of actually get over to this area. But over here, I thought this was actually kind of neat. This bright galaxy, got like split in half. Let's see, which one is this? I see NGC 4216. As you can see, like my image pretty much goes right through it, and it almost blends perfectly together that you can actually see like both ends of it, which is actually like extremely interesting, you know. And just looking at that transition, there's also another one right here that you can kind of see. But looking at like this really helps you like fill in the details. Sorry, I'm gonna stop moving it around so much so you can actually see. But you actually like fill in the details for how it's supposed to look, you know, just by being able to see this other half of it. So I thought that was pretty neat. So this is what I wanted to show you. This is the main attraction in terms of the galaxies. Like we had all these like. Actually, it is kind of amazing how many galaxies around here. You can go to like literally any part of this area and you got galaxies just popping up all around over here. But this is the main area. This is, if we zoom in on this area, this is what is known as Markarian's chain. And it is part of the Virgo supercluster, which is, you know, pretty much like all of this area, but it's a very specific part where you can actually see a bunch of galaxies all in a chain. So you obviously you have these galaxies down here, but then you have this one, 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 and they go up, and they even extend out of the image, and they keep going along this big chain. Look at that one. I wish I could have gotten that one in. I'll have to check that one out. But yeah, just look at this. You fade the image out, and you can see how many galaxies are actually here, and see how they form this big chain. Unfortunately, I didn't get the whole thing in, and because I was just photographing kind of randomly around places, I didn't get all of them in. But just look at how many you can see and how bright they are. These elliptical galaxies and this spiral here. You can totally see the spiral, by the way. And this, that looks like a spiral. I can't tell with that one. Oh yeah, this is like one of these irregular galaxies that's kind of like, it looks like it could almost be a spiral, but it's like spewing its guts out all over space. That's a spiral up there, and it's just crazy. And you'll also see in this next one, which I'll cut to right now. So this one right here, this bright one right, that's like circled with this thing. This is the big daddy of the Virgo cluster of galaxies. It's called M87, and you zoom out here, and you can actually see that like this thing is a super giant elliptical galaxy that like it's so large that all of these other galaxies and like even like ones like way far out are actually almost orbiting it. I don't know all that much about it, but I just know that it's actually insane. And I don't know if it shows up in this image. I can't really tell. That might be it right there, but this thing has a super massive black hole at the center that's actually like spewing like a stream of X-rays out of the galaxy. You can kind of see it in this image down here, where it's got like this thing here, and that might be it there, but it's like, it's one of the craziest galaxies, and I'm really happy that I just kind of stumbled across it. I knew I kind of probably would, but it's still cool nonetheless. So, we found an asteroid today, and that's kind of crazy because I thought I would have to search a lot of sky in order to be able to find one, but look at this. Sorry, yawning. We started here in Gemini, like, I don't know, around here somewhere. Just went along here, through Leo, and down to here, and then we found one, just like that. Like, how lucky are we that we just kind of went along this, and then just happened to find one. I didn't have to go back and forth and cover every little area of the sky and go all the way around and to find one. I just went whoop, and then just a little bit further, and then on the second night, it was right freaking there. And there was some other stuff too. We found a lot of cool galaxies, but I mean, the fact that we actually found one is kind of crazy. Like, it's actually insane. I went over here for a little bit too. I went up here for a little bit, just checked around here. Nothing crazy though. I think I took a couple images over here. Nothing special in them. Oh look, there's Bode's Galaxy. But yeah. So that means that my next task, I think I already talked about this because I'm recording this the next day, but I think the next task is probably going to be to track that asteroid, to take some more pictures of it and try and decipher where it's heading. And so that'll be next week, and that means that this is the end of this episode, which is kind of crazy that I already found an asteroid. I can't believe it, but yeah, if any of you have questions or you like the video, make sure to like it. If you want to see where this series goes, like what else I do with it, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification icon and comment below with your thoughts and whatnot. So, but that's just going to be all for today, or your morning, or whatever time you're in right now. I'm Galen Gilmore, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.